Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. I'm going to be sharing a story with you that was shared with me by Sister Cece. The story is so very interesting that I had to talk about it. It's actually about a black professor who says that he lost $50,000 after being deceived by a Russian mail order bride. So many of you who follow this channel know that this is one of those things that I like to talk about on this channel because there are so many things that is knocking down black couples and black marriage and black relationships. And when you hear a brother who has found success, he's a professor and he's doing well for himself, and his choice for marriage is a mail order bride from Russia, it shows you just how far in decline we are. But anyway, let me get into this story. It says a Morgan State University math professor believes that he's the victim of a romance scam. Dr. Jonathan Farley met his wife through a Russian online dating site. He was after true love, but he believes his wife was after a green card and his money. He estimates that he lost close to $50,000. Farley, an accomplished mathematician looking at finding love like a statistics problem. There are 10 million more women than men in Russia, said Farley. He liked his odds, so he traveled to Siberia, where he met a woman in an unconventional way. And so let me stop right there real quick. So he liked his odds. That's why he went to Siberia. At least that's the story that he's giving us, right? Now, we already know that when you look at black women here in America, that he has great odds here too. So the problem is, it's not that there are no black women to be found here. If no one's looking, of course you're not going to find a good black woman if you're not looking for one. If your first thought is to look at an online dating site, a Russian online dating site, did you even bother to look for a black woman? Now, I'm tired of people saying that you can find love wherever, this, that, and the other. Only our people think that way, okay? These other nations know that sticking together is the best way to do things, but we make excuses because we don't want anyone looking like us. Okay, now I know this is not as a whole. I'm just talking about those who venture out. And they did say that that is one of the highest growing demographics of relationships in this country, where black men and white women are coming together. And we don't see it as problematic. We don't see it as something that is causing the further deterioration of black families. We actually think we're improving ourselves. But in looking at this brother, was this an improvement? No, she ripped you off. That's what happened. She ripped you off because she saw you as liquid money. She saw you as... Oh, let me get back to the article because I was about to go in too soon. Okay. Anyway, he says, I met her in 2013. I used a mail order bride website called ElenasModels.com. Okay. Even though they use the term mail order, no one actually arrives in the mail, Farley said. Of course, we know that. Anyway. The website delivered a match. She was 20, he was 42. Despite the age difference, they thought they'd give it a shot. No, she thought she'd give it a shot. And you thought you were getting yourself a 20-year-old. Let me keep it moving. Let me keep on reading. Okay. He said, we stayed in touch. I sent her about 250 questions about family life, how many kids you'd want to have, other aspects, and she answered all of them. Farley said, of course she did. She knows that most men who are looking for a mail order bride, and I'm not sure if the site actually asks for income, but I'm pretty sure it does. So she saw you as a meal ticket. This is why I say there's some sorcery that's happened to our people, to where you really thought this 20-year-old white female from Russia took you serious as a husband. You should have known from day one it was all a scam. You done got, brother. But anyway, here we go. It says, Farley later flew to Turkey to meet her parents, and after a 3-year courtship, they married at the Towson courthouse. Within 2 weeks of getting married, Farley said his wife's behavior completely changed. Really? Really? It completely changed? Within 2 weeks? Man, she was able to keep that charade up for 3 years. Or you just weren't paying attention. It's amazing. And look, her parents were in on it too. It just goes to show you how stupid, incredibly stupid the world thinks so-called black people are. The whole family was in on it. Okay, the arguments and insults, said Farley, and the spending was incredible. We went to places like Walmart, and she would spend $400. We went to Bed Bath & Beyond, and she spent $900. I don't remember how much we spent at IKEA. He says the spending continued, as well as the insults, until he hit his breaking point 3 months into the marriage. Oh, she insulted you? Wow, whatever could she have said to this American black man? His wife wanted a new coat. When Farley offered to go with her to make the purchase, she got angry. She's like, I don't want you traipsing behind me. I got something I'm up to and you want to come with me? Okay. She said, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money, the $500. And this alarmed me so much that I realized I have got to get out of there, said Farley. So you bit off more than you can chew, huh, brother? He said he tried to reconcile, but after another heated argument at a restaurant that ended with wine in Farley's face, the two agreed to sign a separation agreement. So she said she would separate from him because she wasn't getting what she wanted. So Farley bought her a plane ticket to Turkey, and he gave her $3,000 to start a new life. He drove her to the airport. Before she departed, she left Farley with a parting message. And she told me something cryptic, that she could have been much harder on me. And I didn't think she could have been much harder. Man. At one stage, I had a $12,000 credit card bill. I think I might have had 2 of them, Farley said. He didn't know what she meant until he went back to their apartment. Now, keep in mind, she said that she could have been much harder on him. That was the cryptic message she said to him before she left. And so when he went back to his apartment, this is what happens. He said, we still had a table and 3 chairs, but everything else had been taken, said Farley. He said she cleaned it out in 2 days. Looking at the empty room, it finally hit him. All of her seemingly strange behavior then made perfect sense. That it was a scam from the very beginning. Just to get a green card. Just to spend as much of my money as possible. She had never intended for the marriage to work out, said Farley. Farley called the police and petitioned the state's attorney, but both turned down his request to file theft charges. Under Maryland law, a spouse cannot steal from a cohabitating spouse. He messaged the FBI and the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, but nothing came of it. And nearly 3 years later, Farley said he's still legally married to her. Believe it or not, even though we signed a separation agreement that morning with a lawyer, I'm still married, said Farley. I do feel really stupid. I have to admit, but I don't beat myself up because it was a good scam. A good scam? Are you kidding me? That was what he had to say, a good scam? So you feel like, oh, she played me. Oh, it's kind of funny, kind of cute. Is that what you mean by a good scam? Now, had that been a black woman who did the same thing to him, that Negro would have wanted to beat her up and down the block, backward and forward. Okay, let me restate that. Maybe not this particular man, but there are some so-called black men who would have wanted to beat the brakes off of her for doing that. And no way would have said, oh, it was a good scam. And even this guy, I can't imagine that he would have said that if a black woman did the same thing. I'm not saying that if a black woman had, that it would have been okay. Either way it goes, it was bold. It was a scam. But this is what he called to himself. Because you couldn't find a black woman out of the millions here in America, and you had to cross the water to Russia to find you one. You get what you paid for. Okay, it says news. Look at this. It says WMAR2 News. Mallory Sofastai. I don't know how that's pronounced, so let me just move on from there. It says it spoke to Farley's divorce attorney, who said it's taken some time to finalize the divorce because his wife's out of the country. They have a hearing scheduled next month. Mallory was able to reach Farley's wife. She disputes Farley's account and made some accusations. WMAR2 News was unable to verify. Of course she made some accusations. They always lie so that they don't look like the bad guy or the bad gal in this case. Of course she made some accusations. Okay. Farley said he'd like for the laws to be changed to better protect victims of marriage fraud. He'd also like the FBI and immigration authorities to investigate his complaint. As for his search for love, he said he stopped using those kinds of dating sites, and he shifted his focus to mathematics and self-improvement. Okay, so now that this 20-year-old white female ran you through the muck and the mire, treated you like liquid money, and bilked you out of $50,000. Now all of a sudden you want to just lay off of dating, focus your attention on mathematics and self-improvement. What about going to find a beautiful black woman who would have gladly been your wife and been there to support you and would not have done these things to you? Now, listen, I am not saying that black women are not capable of these things, but even in those cases, these are men who are going after beauty and you know what, instead of someone who is well suited to be a wife. In his case, he probably felt like he struck gold getting a 20-year-old white female, and he's 42 years old. He probably felt like he struck gold. There's so much I can say about this story because I know how these men think. For him to even go to that extent to travel to Russia to meet this woman and meet her family, he felt like, man, I must be the luckiest black man on the planet to get a 20-year-old white female from Russia to fall in love with me. It's like I'm pretty sure that there were some telltale signs that she wasn't remotely in love with you, but you were willing to overlook it because Becky had those bright eyes. These people see our people as so foolish, so incredibly foolish. Like the Bible says, the Most High says, my people are stupid. To do that which is good, they don't know how to do that, but to do that which is evil, they know how to do that very well. I'm sure he had all kinds of excuses in his mind as to why he couldn't find a black woman to marry. I'm pretty sure that there may have even been black students, since you like them that young, there may have even been black students that would have been better wives. But unfortunately, for some black men, black women don't stand a chance once he has his heart and mind set on Becky. For him to go to mail order brides from Russia, that sounds like some sick comedy sketch. That is what he resorted to. Was it worth it? The shame, the humiliation, the ripping you off of your money like that, not to even find love. And then she gives you a cryptic message saying that she could have did worse. And you go back and she took it all. She saw somebody who she could literally treat like a fool. She says, oh, me and my parents, we found out enough information to know that, oh, we're going to get something out of this man. She got mad at you when you wanted to go shopping with her. This is because you thought you had something and you didn't have anything. You thought this young woman wanted you to go to the store with her. And she's like, no, just give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. She's like, give me the money. She didn't want your black behind going nowhere with her. That's why she started insulting you, 2 weeks after? 2 weeks in, she's insulting you. And I bet in your mind you still wanted to try to make it work. Now, some of you may think that I'm coming down really hard on the brother. Okay, you can take that pity somewhere else, because our people need to understand the consequences of their decisions. And as we talk about black relationships and the decline of black relationships, but one of the fastest growing demographics is black men and white females, we need to understand that this is part of the plan to destroy black families and black unity. We need to understand that's what it is. And you are out there as prey. As a matter of fact, he offered himself up as prey. When he got a match on the site, they said, oh, we can try to make this work. Now, initially, she may not have thought about being with a black man because she said, oh, we can make this work. But I'm pretty sure when she saw what his income was and all of that good stuff, she said, okay, I'm not getting any other hits right now. So I see this desperate Negro who's willing to give it a try. So, hey, let me give it a try. I'm not in it for love to begin with. I'm in it for something else. So I'm going to get what I want, then I'm out of here. Do you feel sorry for people who make decisions like this? No, you don't. I don't feel sorry for people who make these kinds of decisions, especially when I know that there are millions of black women, not just here in America, but worldwide, who would have treated this man like a king. And again, I am not saying that all black women are qualified. I know that we have demographics of black women who are just not suited to be mothers or wives or anything because they've let the streets get the best of them and they've done this and they've done that. I know that not every black woman would have been a good woman or a good wife for him. But when you look at our population worldwide, he could have even gone to the continent of Africa and did better than that. Why is it that black men, when they go wife searching, they always end up in some European nation, or in this case, Russia? They end up over in China. They'll even go to other Asian nations or down in South America somewhere, but they never end up in Africa. Why is that? Okay, I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. This man made a bad decision, and he calls it a good scam. But you and I both know that had a black woman did the same thing, he would not have called it a good scam. Not at all. And so this is why the law is not on his side. They're not even trying to help him. You blew it, brother. Okay, family, I'm out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.